Amy Gilroy asks a question that is actually going to transition into our next topic.
Nut
and butt. Amy Gilroy.
Nut and butt.
At Amy Gills 89 on Twitter. She asked, because this is why it transitions into our next topic, because it's a topic I already had and it's not really video game related. So 100 episodes have passed. What areas do you think you've improved, and what do you want to see change for the next 100 episodes?
None of it, all of it.
So I think we definitely have improved. So next topic here for the video watchers is improving BzG and BzG's future. We talked about this a little bit at the beginning of this year, but since I want to talk specifically about sort of this podcast and maybe future shows that we could maybe focus on and expand with. But for the most part, with talking shit, I think the main thing that we've improved on is sort of energy and just sort of having more rapport with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just because at the beginning when we started this, we had no idea how to talk to each other in a podcast form. It was very
I was meeting you again,
for the first time.
Just
it's
Is this an interview?
And that's the thing is, podcasting is very much sort of it's a mixture of interviewing and having a regular conversation and whatnot. These are the same types of conversations we would have if we didn't podcast. But to make it interesting, I have to put on this fucking host.
No, this shit's 24/7.
Yeah,
other
really?
than the host voice.
What?
I was talking about games and shit.
So you see me outside of the podcast and whatnot. I usually try not to talk like this at all because I am very
weird.
I'm very depressed and
Hello, everyone.
and I have a lot of anxiety.
Dude, just
and
say what's up. Fuck. Hit you.
And so I have to sort of put on this face for the podcast, because I know what's interesting. I know what grabs people, and I think that says something about we didn't have a name at all when we started this. No one knew who the fuck we were. We had fucking 5 subscribers. And a year later, we have 72 subscribers as of yesterday. We have a total of 6,000 views on our videos. We have fucking a little over 400 videos. And I think we're just slowly improving week after week after week because we just know how to talk to each other in this format now. So yeah, what is looking back on these last 100 episodes, what do you guys what do you think you've improved on personally, and and our content in general? What do you think we've improved on?
Nothing. I'm still trash.
I improved on showing up more.
Yeah, fucking piece of shit.
Working.
Yeah, I think you've only missed 2 episodes so far this year.
Feels like I've missed 10, but it just didn't show up.
Yeah, you've only missed 2 so far, and last year it was definitely you were gone sort of every other week.
Yeah, I think it was mostly due to the move and stuff, where it's just I'm not gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, you're going to be leaving us soon.
Yeah, so it's just might as well do it.
That's another thing I
can.
sort of want to talk about is our future when it comes to BzG members.
How are you guys going to do it without me? Me editing the videos, bringing in all the topics, having a backup for you specifically.
Yeah, I'm never the one who brings in. I never bring
every
in topics.
fucking. I mean, you want to be the host? Do your fucking shit. And don't get me started on you sweaters.
Throws down a resignation letter, runs out.
But I think for the future, specifically, when you leave, I still want to have you involved in some way, shape, or form. Whether or not that's, we get you your sort of own personal camera and personal mic, and have you do your own show once every month or week, and then send it to me, and then I edit it. Because I still even though you're leaving, I
don't think you want to give me a camera by myself.
I would love to still have you involved in some way, shape, or form, because it'll be it'll be a good excuse for us to keep in contact because you're gonna fucking move away.
Yeah.
And
I'll be working hella
and
too.
it's like for people who live in the like our friends who live in the city, I never see them, you know, and it's gonna be much harder for like when you're fucking like an hour, a couple hours away from us. So.
You give me a camera and a microphone, and do you remember that episode of South Park, the fake vampires, where Butters is in the gym and he accidentally presses the wrong button? I just send you me doing that. It's time for the Butter Show. The fuck is this?
See, I was thinking, shit, Ricky sent us a sex tape.
What do you think the Butter Show is?
So
That's the butter.
So I honestly think like having like a one-off, like sort of one-man Ricky show would be interesting.
A terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea, but I think like we could make, talking shit was a terrible idea, and it still is. But I think we've sort of finally hit the pace of like we're starting to make better content now, and it's taken us fucking forever to do that. But I think like any show that we're gonna start is gonna start off really weird. Like BzG News started off like absolutely 100% scripted. Remember that? Where I would have jokes like
Some
written about
Ubisoft shit right there.
Yeah, and it felt really forced. And then like that's the other thing is like whenever we start shit, like I always force it because I come from a theater background. I try to like fucking make it all like scripted and whatnot because that's like just what I know. And then
coming in with period shoes on and everything.
and then after a couple tries, like I see like okay, we should let's just be ourselves. BzG News, it's a combination of me like putting on a face, but also having scripted stuff, but also giving my own like opinion and whatnot. And
I was thinking like makeup.
And then like talking shit wasn't a podcast originally; it was a video series, and that's why we're at 100 episodes, only a year in, because there were 3 episodes that would go up every week, and so that's why we're already here. And I think
we're liars.
We're fucking liars. This hasn't been 100 weeks. Henry isn't even real; he's a hologram. Whoa!
Kill Cisco.
And so like I think. Definitely, like
what?
Making it a weekly podcast, like one full podcast, is definitely making it a one whole show every week has definitely been a big improvement. Just because like when we did 3 separate episodes every week, we would all record that in one day, and it felt very like it didn't feel like we were talking to each other anymore. And I felt like really weird and bad about that. Like it took me a while to like sort of figure out like that's what it felt like. But then when I realized it, I was like, okay, we got to fucking change this because this is not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, like what do you guys want to see for the future of BzG?
A moat.
I want you guys to start doing live tours and call yourself improv comedians. Like Game Grumps does now.
Savage.
Ooh.
Whatever.
Sure you are.
First, you should be funny.
Oh, fuck. God damn. Shooting on a successful show. I don't know. Do you guys think you're still going to be doing the both video and podcast thing later on?
Yeah, I definitely like
gonna
want
try
to
to
keep
keep
to
on
that.
up.
Like have like if you want to have a video aspect to it, fuck yeah, like here's that available. And if you want to have an audio version of it, like keep that available. Because I'm much of those both of those worlds. Where like for like as an example for kind of funny for Gamescast and Game Over Greggy, I like watching the video versions. But for PSI Love You XOXO, I listen to that in audio form. So I definitely understand like having it available in 2 different versions. I think is for the best. Because it's also what everybody else is doing. So
We just have Ricky on as a conference call.
and that's the one
Ricky,
thing.
what do you have to say on the subject?
Thanks, Barrett, coming in. And so like that's the other thing is like someone was asking me like, oh, why didn't you guys just do like over Skype and keep Ricky in? And like that's like I've been guests on shows that like are based on Google Hangouts, are based on Skype. And Irrational Passions is the one that does it really, really well, just because they've been doing it for 6 fucking years.
Yeah.
So it's like they definitely have their pacing down and they know how to talk to each other over the internet, and a lot of podcasts don't, and I don't think we would nail that either, of like being able to have like just listening even just like to the YouTube like unedited version of Irrational Passions podcast. Like they just know how to talk to each other over Google Hangouts, and no one really else does, like from everything else that I've listened to that's based off of like, oh, we got to do this over the internet because we don't live near each other or whatnot. So that's just like my personal thing. Is like I like to have this like personal and fucking you actually being here. And the one exception I'll do is for interviews for BzG News, but that's really interview discussions are way easier to have over Skype because it's like I'm gonna ask you a question and then you're gonna talk for a shit ton and like sort of this like.
And I'm gonna go and get coffee.
Yeah, or go up and get water in the middle of our fucking episode.
He's going
Henry, you're saying, what would you actually like to see for like our future? And like, did you have anything that you wanted to like maybe work on?
Every day I pray for death.
Oh my God.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you two sort of just go with the flow with everything.
Really, like for the most part, you're the one who organizes everything, and it's like I like your ideas, so. They're usually good. The thing that the thing that I would like to see more of is, even though it would take a lot more time, like if both of you had clearer schedules later on, more side shows like the news thing. And
I would love to like.
I love those things.
Eating shit.
Yeah, like I really wish like we could have developed more on eating shit, which was going to be a show where you two make food every week, which would have been fucking hilarious.
Us at my house usually.
And
wait, you know what sounds hella good right now, son?
Bravo.
Yeah, I would really like to like. I really got to just fucking
Eating shit.
You and I at one point just got to sit down and try to come up with like ideas for possible different shows. I would like to actually see like I've been thinking about like doing my own personal like fucking talking to like Alex Talks or the Roger Picorni show, where it's like I have like a script and I talk to you and it's very like well edited and whatnot. But I honestly don't think I would want to be the one to do that. I would actually like to see you do something like that, where you have like this sort of thought piece that you've sort of thought of, and then like, you know,
I've had a few of those.
I shoot it and edit it for you, and like we get it up every week or every couple weeks or whatnot. Because I honestly think your opinions and thoughts on video games are way more developed than mine. Just because you put a lot of thought into it, and I'm very ADD when it comes to like. I'm just all over the place, and so I think, and you've also stuck with video games for more of your life than I have, and so I honestly think you have a better scope of like what would be interesting to talk about on those kind of shows. So I'd honestly like if we could figure that out. I would love to hear like a fucking like a Henry to Space show just on your own.
This is gonna be terrible.
Like most of our shit. So that the other thing that I was thinking about, I would love to get more writers. You know, like when it comes down to it, BzG is us. But I would love to get like just other people to come in and write for our site. Like I try to do it every week. I've fucked up these last couple of weeks. Like the last thing I wrote was The Last of Us 2 thought piece I had. I've begun my thoughts on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild gameplay.
More like Legend of Zelda Breath of Fresh Air.
So that's like that's the one thing I would love is like if people like maybe I should like reach out to people and be like, hey, write for our site. I can't give you money, but write for our site. Like I would love to get like a sort of solid team of writers.
I can't pay you, but I have a hand.
That might like
pay
just
you
be
in a hug.
interested to do it just to do it, you know. So I would love to get like maybe like a team of like 3 or 4 people who would want to write for our site regularly. So
yeah, it'd be really cool.
That's like the one aspect of like our written portion of like our content is definitely could be one. All of our stuff could be 1,000 times better, but I think the written portion is definitely something that should be our focus in the next coming months of like what we
me, bitch.
I do ask you to fucking do stuff. Like I can put it all in. You just gotta do the content, my girl.
My man, my son,
my dude.
My dude. So the last topic Or did you guys have any last thoughts on improving BzG's future? The last thing I should before I know I just asked you guys a question, but I'm gonna go.
You're like,
I'm gonna go.
hold on.
Getting a new member for talking shit will take some time.
We'll have auditions.
If you're in the San
comes in.
Francisco Bay Area and if you want to be a part of a podcast where we fucking do this shit every week for about an hour and a half, let us know. Email us at bayazonagamers@gmail.com. Give us sort of like where your background is in video games and
Put
pop
a thing
culture.
up at Amoeba.
And pop culture, and I'll get back to you if you're interested in that. You have to live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't do over the internet, Skype, fucking podcasts. Sorry.
They all send carrier pigeons. What the fuck?
Hello, old friend.
We do have one person that we're looking at right now. I have to get in touch with him.
You
Actually,
mean Grover?
Yeah, Grover. What's up, bitches? So.
It's hard to do, Grover.
I have to follow up with one person and see what their interest
I have
is
the power now.
into being part of the podcast. But don't be afraid to send us your info if you want to be a part of this, because who knows? That one person might be like, "Hey, this isn't for me." So who knows? That's like the one last thing I wanted to touch up on. But for you guys, like, any last thoughts?
Nope. I hope you guys find a cool person. Not some
no-
weirdo serial killer.
Our special guest,
as long
David Berkowitz.
Yeah,
as long
he,
as they're not cooler as you, right?
He has like a briefcase with him. You guys want to say hi to my friend?
Brings
Just
out
a
a
head.
No, it's a hand puppet. Hello, everybody. You're really bad at ventriloquism.
That's the only way he podcasts.
We can see you moving your lips. Shoots you.
Has gun under the table with the other hand.